The two breaking news stories just sent Steelers fans into a frenzy. First, Calvin Austin III admitted to an issue that could completely shift the dynamics of Pittsburgh's offense, right when expectations for him are sky high. And while the coaching staff scrambles to rearrange the pieces, a very familiar name is suddenly back in the internal conversations, and what came out caught everyone off guard. If you're a true Steelers fan, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Let's get into it. Man, the Steelers' wide receiver room has been a roller coaster the past couple years, and now Calvin Austin III just threw another twist into the story. Pittsburgh cleaned house this offseason, sent George Pickens packing, and went all in by bringing in DK Metcalf from Seattle. That move instantly gave them a true alpha wideout, but it also meant Austin suddenly had a chance to carve out a massive role in his contract year. The problem? Austin tweaked an oblique at the team's big Friday Night Lights practice, and even though he's back on the field, he admitted something that could be a red flag for the Steelers. He told reporters that mentally, he never checked out. He stayed in the meetings, did the walkthroughs, kept up with installs, so in his head he's fully locked in. But physically? That's where things get tricky. Austin straight up admitted that the one thing lagging right now is his conditioning. And for a speed guy who relies on quickness and separation, being a step slow because your lungs aren't right could change the whole offense. This is a make-or-break year for him. The dude's 26 now. He's shown flashes, 548 yards and 4 touchdowns last season. But with Aaron Rodgers now slinging it in Pittsburgh, expectations just shot through the roof. The Steelers are banking on him being that dangerous second option behind Metcalf, especially since defenses are going to swarm DK every single week. That could mean Austin finds himself more open than he's ever been in his NFL career, but only if he's in shape enough to take advantage. And let's not forget, this isn't just about production. It's about timing. He's hitting free agency after this year. A strong season with Rodgers could turn him into a highly coveted weapon around the league. A slow start because he's gassed in the fourth quarter? That could cost him millions. The silver lining for him is that playing next to Metcalf is like taking a masterclass in being a pro. DK's already locked in for the long haul with a fat $132 million extension, and the guy's built his career on being reliable and relentless. That's the kind of example Austin needs right now. So yeah, the Steelers might have stumbled onto one of the most underrated offensive combos in the league, Rodgers, Metcalf, and Austin, but it all comes down to whether Austin can push through this conditioning setback and be ready to go week 1. If he's not, Pittsburgh's passing attack could look a whole lot different than what fans are dreaming about. And if you thought the Austin situation was complicated, get this. There's serious talk going around involving a familiar face fans didn't expect to hear about again. So here's the situation in Pittsburgh. The Steelers completely reshuffled their wide receiver room over the last year. Deontay Johnson and George Pickens are gone, DK Metcalf is in, and now the team is basically crossing its fingers, hoping Calvin Austin III or rookie Roman Wilson can step up and fill that Deontay-sized hole. Spoiler alert, they haven't shown it yet. And that's why the idea floating around right now is pretty wild. What if the Steelers just bring Johnson back? Think about it. They shipped him to Carolina for corner Deontay Jackson, and that worked out on their end. Jackson gave them 5 picks in 1 season. Johnson? Not so much. Since leaving Pittsburgh, the guy's been on the NFL version of a bad Airbnb trip, bouncing around to 4 different teams, including 2 separate stints with the Ravens, and only suiting up for 12 games total. It's been a rough ride. Now, maybe Johnson's just lost a step. Maybe all the sideline drama and half-effort plays that Tomlin somehow kept under wraps finally caught up to him. Or maybe he just hasn't landed in the right system. But here's the thing. When he was in Pittsburgh, the dude was a reliable WR2. So reliable, in fact, that the Steelers gave him a nice contract extension before they eventually moved on. And if he's still got anything left in the tank, he's basically the exact type of receiver this current offense is missing. Picture Aaron Rodgers with a guy who's one of the cleanest route runners in the league, someone who can separate instantly and be where Rodgers expects him every single snap. Combine that with DK Metcalf wrecking coverages and speed demons like Austin, Wilson, and Scotty Miller working underneath. That's a recipe for a ridiculously dangerous passing attack. Of course, this isn't all sunshine. Johnson wasn't exactly drama-free in Pittsburgh. He had moments of checking out on plays, he clashed with teammates, and he wasn't afraid to make noise in the locker room. The Steelers traded him for a reason. But the ironic part is that after all the effort to move past the distractions, they're still out here trying to find the next Deontay Johnson. And now he's sitting on the open market, with a chance to complete the full circle story. It's really a gamble. If Johnson's washed, you're just adding another body to a crowded room. But if he's still got that same burst and route running ability, he's the perfect missing piece for Rodgers in this offense. The only question is whether Pittsburgh is willing to roll the dice on the same guy they already decided to move on from. Austin needs to bounce back fast or risk losing ground in what could be a high-powered offense. And if Deontay really is back in the picture, things could get real interesting. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing.